Hello, everybody. This is your boy, the one and only Malcolm Butterscotch, coming at you with the Butterscotch Report. And rumors have been telling me that I haven't been here for a while. And I'm not too sure if I can confirm nor deny that because my life is very much like Severance. It's very much like living as an innie. Look, I do not exist past these glasses and this beanie. So when they come off of me, simply I do not remember. So I guess I've been gone. People are telling me for about a month and a half, and it's like it feels like an instant. It feels like just not even yesterday, just a moment ago I was talking about Drake and ASAP Rocky, and now I'm here. And people are telling me months have gone by, a month, 2 months. I say, what could you mean? So I show up, I see this beautiful tapestry, that of my favorite artist, and I'm just hoping, like, the thing is, like, has my favorite artist fallen off? And I'm saying, since it's, I'll let you guys check. I don't think this artist could have. It's timeless music. It's classic. I know he's had some faults in the past, but he's always apologized for those. And surely nothing could be worse than him, with all the stuff with the Jewish people. He couldn't just take. So yeah, like I said, look, I don't exist outside of where I am right now. I haven't been able to check the news for about 2 months. The producers are gonna give me some stuff that I could. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, no, my bad. No, I did. How was I supposed to know that? Okay, no, okay, it's fine. We're gonna cut this, right? Though I'm not gonna. They're not gonna make me out to look. Can't cut it. Okay, okay. Sorry, I just got word from our producers that I'm not allowed to wear stuff like that on the channel, podcast, or basically anywhere out in public anymore. All right. Please forgive us for that abrupt stop in our program. It turns out the producers don't know to empty out a SD card before filming, and two, don't know how to empty out an SD card. So we learned how to do that. We prepped them all out on that. I taught them how to do that, and now we're back. Now we're good. And now we're back, and hopefully we don't have any more mishaps like that. Hopefully this camera doesn't turn off, and I don't have to go fish it out of the Hudson River. So let's just lock in. Let's figure that out. All right. So our first story of the day, I did no research for, and I feel like it's one of those topics that is very approachable without research, which is important. So we're going to be talking about the economical state of the U.S. We don't need research for something like that because clearly people aren't using research to fix it. That's not a jab at the boy Donny T. I'm just saying the people are a little bit mad at the kid. I'm going to be honest. I woke up, I checked Reddit. When I woke up, I'm saying that's when I put on these glasses. I checked Reddit. And the first thing that I see is that there's immense protests over Trump. And I'm like, dog, it can't be that deep. I've basically been in the cryo chamber for a little bit, so I was like, okay, like, basically got to teleport into like a month and a half into his presidency. And then I was like, ooh, them tariffs was real. The thing is, it's like we argue that these tariffs are for the future. They're for the future. They're like in 50 years, look, we're gonna have manufacturing brought back to the country. It's gonna be dope. Everybody's gonna be working. We're all gonna be greased up in our overalls, getting hard days of work. We're not gonna have these creative kids that are trying to start like podcasts and trying to do all this bullshit. They're gonna learn what an honest, good, hard day's work is, and that's important. We need more of that. That's the type of shit that kills mental illness. Obviously, you got to just put them to work. Because the harder you work, the less you feel. And that's just how it is. So I completely understand where Donny T's coming from this. But do I think that the kid is going about it in the best way? Well, I'm gonna answer that question with another question. Does it feel like the entire world hates us right now? Even Canada. Oh, they were supposed to be look. Canada has every right to hate us, but they're going to become a state, and that's just how it's going to be. I'm telling you how it is. Look, this might be a little bit early for the prediction of the week, but Canada is going to become a state. It's how it's going to be. Look, if Puerto Rico and Guam are territories, then make no mistake that Canada is going to be a state. Okay, so that basically concludes anything I want to say about this. And actually, I came here not planning to say anything about the tariffs, but look, they're just so darn crazy that people are having a fuss. Um, and look, it's like people haven't been hitting the streets like this since like the BLM protests. So when you see these mountains of people, you're like, okay, like we get it, you won the election 2 months ago, but it looks like some of those people are a little bit mad at you, dog. And it's not like he didn't run on this. It's not like we didn't know that these tariffs were coming. It's not like we like got into this relationship with this like beautiful woman and then it turns out she's got a little bit of a piece down there. It wasn't one of those situations where we got caught by surprise. We knew he had the piece on him. Um in this analogy that's Donald Trump that had a little bit of a piece on him, a little bit of a glue gun down under. And look, we knew the tariffs were coming. We knew this anti-immigration shit was gonna happen, and then it's just we're like, really? Like you did that? Like yeah, he did that. The kid's 80 years old. He's crazy. He's about to die. Relatively about to die. I don't want to wish death upon any political figure, of course, but the kid, the kid's just doing it. He's just saying Donald Trump has always lived his life as if it was a video game. He was a he was like a TV star for so long. Before that, he was in the business world. It's like he's just hopping around. He's doing all these different side quests, and I can't even blame him. It's like we let him be president, let him cook. That's basically what we basically gave Trump a pot, a pan, unlimited ingredients. We gave him the Master Chef kitchen, and we said let him cook. And then he starts cooking, and we're all like, hold up, wait, don't do that. So I mean, yeah, things got to start turning around. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. The S&P 500. Trump, you're making my mom work into her late 60s at this rate, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I want my mom to be able to comfortably retire, and you're taking that away from her, and I don't like that. So stop it. Okay, Trump. Look, I have no issue with this. If you just send me and my family a little bit of stimulus package, you could buy off my perception of you. You could have me coming on the Butterscotch Report every single week, or every once in every 5 weeks, because sometimes that just happens. But you could have me coming on here spewing propaganda all day, but you just gotta let my mom retire. Look, I don't want my mom to be 75 and working. I just don't want that. But the 401k, you hurt it a little bit. You did that. You did. But it's what you did, and now we're mad at you. But let's get on to the real stories of the day. That was far too much rambling for the beginning. I might have to put this section at a different spot because I don't know if we want to start off so damn political. All right. What's our first story of the day? Other than my mother having to work until she's 85 years old and actually working at home from a retirement home, because that's what Donald Trump wants. That was a joke for all intents and purposes. Okay, so I said let's not get political, but make no mistake, the first story on the script is, of course, political. So that's just how that happens, and that's just how that rolls off. And this one's a little bit of an old one. I'm pretty sure we were all aware of this, but considering the viewers of this program are usually my uneducated friends, we're going to lock this in for you guys. Let's lock in. Okay. So Trump officials exchange text on a Signal lead. Signal is it's like WhatsApp, but even more sus. It's supposed to be this encrypted thing. Turns out some of Trump's officials were texting on it. And it wasn't just like booty calls. It wasn't like OMG, ROC, like let me get in there, shawty. It was like more of like OMG, Iran, like can't wait to bomb you right now. And that's not a good look. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. You can't have these chats leaked. And people are wondering, like, oh, how did these chats get leaked? Like, was it some crazy hacker that hacked into this super secure, cryptic group chat? No. No, there was actually a journalist that got put into the group chat. I'm going to say that again. So, no, there was no secret hacker. There was no crazy breach of information. Like, well, there was a breach of information, but that was because of this guy that just got added to the group chat. And look, sometimes that happens. We all have been there. We've all been creating a group chat. We put a couple of amigos in there. You know, some people got the same names in the context you put, and then you realize that you accidentally just asked your third grade teacher to smoke some weed with you. And it happens, and it accidentally happens. And you're like, why do you have your third grade teacher's contact information there? You say, I don't know. I guess my contacts got linked on my mom's. I didn't even know his name was Brian. And then you're like, okay, and that happens. And then that happens. And then that happens. So, look, we understand. But let me explain a little bit about what actually happened. Okay. U.S. President Donald Trump's national security team faces scandal after a reporter was mistakenly added to a messaging group chat in which senior officials discussed attack plans on Iran-backed Houthi group in Yemen. And I'm not even going to start to talk about the Houthis, the Iran. I'm just going to talk about how funny it is that they accidentally said some of the stuff that they did. And to be honest, when it comes to the Middle East, I don't know who's funding who. I don't know who's fighting for who, but it's all very confusing. And it makes me think of the Brian Griffin Family Guy clip about 9/11. And maybe I'll throw that up there because shit is too confusing. Trump and his team have continued to insist that classified information was not shared in the Signal group chat. That included the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg. So Jeffrey Goldberg was the reporter that got put in there. And that's the thing about them. They always find a way. They always find a way to get what they want. They always find a way to slime right in, slime through the cracks. And I'm talking about reporters. That's it. The conversation, which The Atlantic first published on Wednesday, shows behind-the-scene discussions between Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. And this was just hours before the attack launched. And look, I'm not going to lie, every single one of those names kind of sounds like a cartoon villain in a Japanese anime of like the stereotypical American guy with the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and the strong jaw chin. I'm not going to lie, every single one of those names are just listed out sounds like that. And that's just how it is. All right, I'm going to throw up these messages for you guys, but before we get into anything, I think it is just so cute that some of them have profile pictures for Signal, like the thing that's supposed to be encrypted, the thing that you're supposed to like kind of not know who's who, fully all of their names just out here, just JD Vance, Michael, like all of them just have their names listed. It's not even like a Michael. It's not even like an MW, like a Michael. Like, no, they were just like, this is my name. I'm putting it straight into Signal. I know this is the chat that we're going to talk about bombing foreign nations, but we're just going to go ahead and put my full government name. And look, that's the thing about government names. You want to hide those with your life. Some people may even come up with an alias or a fake name or fake alter ego just to protect some of their privacy. I wouldn't know anything about that, but that's maybe what they should have done here. But onward. So yeah, Pete Hegseth has a cute little picture of him in a blazer, and I love that for him. I love that he was letting us know that he can dress up and get a little dapper. So he was talking about, they were talking about whatever, if they're going to bomb Iran. Maybe don't say whatever before you say that, but okay. And this is not how the discussion starts, but I just got the highlights in here. I'm kind of like the sports center for news here. I'm not going to really educate you, but I'm going to bring you the fun stuff about it, and then you're going to be able to bring that up with your friends and sound like you know what's going on, but you really don't. So Pete Hegseth says, waiting a few weeks or a month does not fundamentally change the calculus. Two immediate risks on waiting. So these are the risks on waiting to bomb Iran or not bomb Iran. His first one was that this leaks and we look indecisive. And two, Israel takes an action first. Okay, so Pete, the fact that your first risk is that if this group chat's gonna get leaked and that these decisions are gonna get leaked somehow, maybe address that first, my guy. Like maybe that says something about the security and encryption of our government and the employees within it. Because why is your first risk that this gets leaked? Boy, maybe get everybody in the same room with a little like it's a comedy show and everybody puts their phones in the pockets type of thing, because this is ridiculous. Like how is that your first concern? Your first concern came your most immediate risk. Yeah, you were correct. So honestly, Pete's a smart dude. Pete Hegseth is a smart dude. I'm kind of giving him a little flack, but his first immediate risk was the most immediate risk, so he understands. I mean, does it make them look indecisive? Some would say that. Some would say it makes them look like idiots. Some would say it makes them look like morons. Some would say it makes them look incompetent. Some would say that uh, many other adjectives or verbs, or whichever one those were, because I don't exactly know. So I just thought that was a little bit funny, a little crazy by Pete. Okay, but now we got Pete gets a little bit more serious in his next one, and this is straight up just directions and whatever it's called, orders, objectives. I don't work in government, and I really never plan on joining the military because I'm way too scared to do that. But this is definitely some military ass shit. Team update. Time now. 11:44 Eastern Time. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are a go for mission launch. CENTCOM is like the security of national defense or something like that. I looked it up before and I definitely forgot it. 12:15 Eastern Time. F-18s launch first strike package. 13:45. Trigger based F-18 first strike window starts. Target terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike drones launch. MQ-9s. At 14:10, more F-18s launch second strike package. At 14:15, strike drones on target. This is when the first bombs will definitely drop, pending earlier. F-15:36, F-18 second strike starts. Also, first sea-based Tomahawks launch. More to follow per timeline. We are currently clean on OPSEC. Godspeed to our warriors. J.D. Vance says, "I will say a prayer for our victory. For victory." This is the best one. Michael Waltz goes, VP, building collapsed, had multiple positive ID. Pete, Karela, the IC, amazing job. JD Vance just says, what? We can all relate to that. When somebody's like trying to tell you something, you're trying to be super, you're just like, dude, I don't know. Who the hell is Karela? Like, who are these people? He just said what? He said, look, I was praying for a victory. I don't know who the victory's about, but I'm just praying. So he threw it a prayer. He didn't even know what was going on. That just happens. Michael Waltz goes, typing too fast. The first target, their top missile guy. We had positive ID on him walking into his girlfriend's building, and it's now collapsed. And to JD, that's excellent. A good start, says John. John Radcliffe says, it's a good start, but is the broad dead too? We got to make sure we got them all. And then Michael Waltz throws in a little fist pump, America, fire emoji. Insensitive use of the fire emoji, may I just say, Michael, please, when you're carpet bombing Iranians, let's refrain from using the fire emoji as a response. Let's just calm down on that. It's a little bit crazy. I'm going to give you the pass because you didn't know that you guys added a journalist in here. I'm going to give you the pass. But I do want to go back up to this whole grocery itinerary of bombs that Pete sent us. And it's just crazy because you see stuff like this and you always wonder, like, how does the government, like, how does shit get run? Like, I remember when I got my first job at a bagel store and I walked behind the counter, and I think that was the first time I realized that, oh, jobs are just people. Like, I don't know why. Like, I genuinely thought was like, oh, I'll go to McDonald's and like it's ran like a fucking tight shit. I'm like, no, these are just people that are severely addicted to opioids. And it's just like, yeah, no shit. Shit doesn't work. Shit is way more human. Businesses are way more human than I ever thought. And this was me as a young lad. But then you get behind there and you're like, oh no, this is just a bunch of people. So when you see something like this, you're like, yeah, you think the government is these super highly educated, highly trained, and obviously I don't think this. I didn't always. I didn't. This was like me when I was like 7 years old. Not that I got my first job at 7. Not that I couldn't work at 7. Small hands could have put me in Sheen. But you see this stuff and you're like, okay, this is a little bit crazy. Like this is actually how they talk. Like this is type of stuff you would have to join the government and get I mean, probably some of these people aren't even probably elected, because they're cabinet members and permanent government, all that. But you see stuff like this and it's just very eye opening. You're like, oh, I always did wonder what it would look like for a group chat of officials to talk about the bombing of Iran, and you're like, here you go, you got it, you got it. You got it. So, all right, John Ratcliffe has a good start. He still wants to kill the rest of them. Good job, Pete, and your team. Michael Waltz, we got the team in Mal did a great job as well. SM says, see, SM knew. Whoever is SM, they knew. This is what I was talking about. I didn't even see this before. I didn't even recognize this before. This is how you're going to do it. If you're going to be joining an application that has you messaging about the lives of foreign people and how you're going to, yeah, use SM. Because I have no clue who SM is now. And in my mind, they got a clean plate. Now, are they clean? Did they not contribute to the death of multiple people and have to live with that in their conscience, even if it was for government purposes or not? Yeah, but SM, you clean for me. All right, yeah, the rest of these are whatever. There's somebody named TG too, so shout out TG. Some of them understood. Okay, that was a whole lot of fun. That was way too political, though. We gotta hop off the politics. I haven't been with you guys in about a month and a half, 2 months, and all we're gonna do is talk politics. Was this Thanksgiving? No. We're gonna talk about the Impractical Jokers scandal. Ew! Yucky. They're yucky men. They're yucky guys. I'm gonna be honest. At least 2 of them are. And to be honest, Sal Vulcano is a national treasure and needs to be protected. And I'm telling you right now, if anything comes out about him, it's gonna dramatically change the future of myself. It's just everything I know is gonna crumble. My reality won't quite be the same if Sal Vulcano is not the man I thought he was. So keep that, but he is for now. As we know, he is still a good guy. And it's also important to not have these parasocial relationships with these celebrities. And this is going to be why. A lot of these relationships, you see them on the TV. You're like, these are the funniest dudes. They do the funniest things. They're so crazy. It's like, yeah, but also these guys are banging out 15-year-olds. Okay. Let's calm down. Calm down, Malcolm. You can't say stuff like that. You cannot say stuff like that right off the bat. We're just going to go into the facts. Look, that was an allegation. And I didn't make that up. It's an allegation. I'm just going to go right. We're here. I'm going to go down here just for a second because I said some crazy shit. Okay, we're going to go down here. Okay. So we're going to start off by just watching this TikTok together. And, okay, so TikTok is making me answer some sort of select 2 objects that are the same shape. None of these objects are the same shape. Oh, no. The same shape? None of these are the same shape. I don't know if anybody's ever done a CAPTCHA, but genuinely can't get it right because that's me right now. Okay, so now I'm having it speak out a code to me. What?
U-K-N-V
UKNVH. Okay, I got in. I didn't know TikTok became so. Why is it harder to hack into TikTok than it is to hack into Signal? Somebody make it make sense. Okay, so we have this TikTok from user JuicyB. It's posted on March 20th, so we're a little late to the news, but hey, better late than never. Nether. Chicken jockey. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pretend I didn't say that. That might have to get cut. Okay, so it starts us off with this. So we're gonna start off. So this girl is 19 years old, and when Joe Gatto was, I guess, I think they said 45, 46 years old. You're gonna get half facts. A lot of this with us, and I know this is a very touchy subject and probably something I should be very well researched on. But look where you are. Look at this. You're watching a podcast that has a blank wall behind them with one piece of paper as the decoration. So this, you kind of know what you're gonna get here, and it's not gonna be optimal facts. But we have this girl right here who appears to be, honestly, if you showed me this picture and was like, look at this beautiful father and son, that's crazy, father and daughter, I'd be like, oh, that's so cute. Like, that's what a beautiful relationship that these two must have. He looks so supporting. He's got a great smile on his face. Yeah, well, it turns out that this girl that could be his daughter alleges that he sexually assaulted her. Now, sometimes people come out about things that aren't necessarily true, but I'm going to tell you why I believe this girl had no nefarious purposes behind this. I'm going to be real. Look, you look at her TikTok, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't trust people just because of, like, the things that I'm saying, but, like, I'm just saying I do trust her. I know that, like, trusting victims is a very touchy subject, and we're going to get off of it right now. So first they're on Instagram. This is where it starts off. She sends him the pictures. He says, crazy to see you in Milwaukee. Sorry for interrupting your breakfast. It was so nice meeting you today. Going to try and get some tickets for your show tonight. Okay, so she explains in her 10-minute long TikTok that she posted, I watched it, but we're not watching it together because it's truly not the most engaging TikTok. Sorry. But she explains how she first met Joe Gatto when she was with her sister and her mom, and her sister is a really big Impractical Jokers fan. She's only really a fan because of her sister. And they went up to him, they got that picture that we just saw, and now she basically sent it to him on Instagram, and they were, like, going back and forth. I don't even know how, like, I don't know how in this dude's brain that this is, like, the course of action for this, but he says, in response to her saying she wants to go to a show, he says, awesome to meet you, for sure, come, it'll be fun. She goes, just bought 2 tickets, now I have to find someone to come with me, ha ha ha, I can't wait. He goes, awesome, I'll leave 2 meet and greet passes for you at the box office under your name, so you can come back and say hello, have fun. She says, thank you so much. I couldn't wish for a better first comedy show. So excited. So, like, this girl isn't even a comedy fan. Like, this is so obviously just sus from him. Like, just so like, if this stuff is what she's alleging is true, it's like, dude, why are you trying to invite a 19-year-old girl backstage to your comedy show when you, like, have a white, like, Joe Gatto left Impractical Jokers because he had some marital issues and because he was separating from his wife, and now they're, like, back together or whatever, but this whole time there's been, like, this marriage that he's trying to fix, allegedly, and, dude, no shit, you have a bad marriage, you're inviting 19-year-old girls backstage to come fucking play with your cannolis and, like, tingle, like, the top of your head with your 3 hairs that you have left. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't like it. I don't like old people messing with young people. Like, this girl, like, she doesn't even know what she wants to be in her life. She doesn't even know what she's going to do. This dude is just, like, fucking poaching on her. Poaching. All right, sorry, we're back. We reached a little bit of a recording limit because I just got so damn into it because Joe Gatto's been pissing me off. He was one of my favorite on the show, and now he's fucking relax. And now he's freaking little not okay. He's messing around. Let's just get into it. Okay, so Joe Gatto goes, so happy you loved it, and sorry I made you cry, ha ha ha. No worries, all good tears anyway, she says. So she literally cried like tears of excitement, tears of joy. Like this is a like child basically meeting a celebrity she sees on TV. Why in the world would you be attracted to that? That's like if you're like, let's say you have a little sister who's like 18 and you're 45, and then they're like, oh, I've heard so many good things about you. Like, okay, this analogy is getting really weird, I'm not going to continue it, but you know what I mean. It's weird, dude. You're in your 40s, this girl's 19, she looks like your daughter. No, 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 I don't like it. I don't like it. She says, okay, good, you look great in the picture, so that's good. And she says, thank you. I think you're the star of the picture, though. And she said at this point she was trying to be like, that was a weird comment that he made saying me look good, so we're just going to pass it off to him. I respect that. He says debatable to that. Oh, Joe. The story replies, agree with you. He said, glad I'm giving you street cred. And she said, I'd rather have real friends than street cred anyway. Just got to show off what people missed. He says, fuck yes. What a day. She says, fuck yes. Hope the rest of your night is epic, is equally epic. She says, just drinking and hanging out. Hope yours is too. Okay. So that's how it starts off before he eventually puts it on vanish mode. And then, Joe Gatto puts it on vanish mode and basically invites her over, whatever. She gets there at, what, like 2 a.m.? Yeah, we covered this. So she basically came out, she said, I got sexually assaulted by Joe Gatto, the Impractical Joker. The woman then claims in a second TikTok video that the incident took place following this show. She said she voluntarily went to his hotel room where she stayed until after 2 a.m. And yeah, it's just not a good look. I don't know if I can put up the picture of her, but she had like a huge bruise on her butt that she claimed he did with his teeth. So Bodie would just munch on the tail, and he did a little bit of damage. And it's the whole thing is just really, it's gross. It's like, if this shit is true, and I kind of think it is, I just am like, dude. Like, can people not be weird? Like, is it that hard to not be gross and weird? Like, I get it. I'm not a 40-year-old balding man that has some type of comedic presence in this world. But is that all it would take to push me to have sex with someone that's 20 years younger than me? If I were to have sex with, buddy, that'd be in the fetus. That doesn't even, like, let that sink in. That's like me saying in 20 years I'm going to literally have intercourse with someone that's not even alive yet. Like, how do you not frame that to yourself if you're like 40 and you're like, oh, what did I think when I was 19? Dude, weird. I don't have to say it anymore, but it's weird. And that brings us to something even weirder. Mr. James Murray. Now, I was talking about them being too young with Joe Gatto. At least the girl was above legal age. Because James Murray, that's not a requirement for him. That's not a requirement for the kid. And I say the kid, but in this case, I actually wish he was a kid, but he's not. He's actually a 40-year-old man. Man, I thought I didn't want to talk about politics, but I don't want to talk about this shit either. Okay, so James Murray, star of the comedy series Impractical Jokers, is under scrutiny after a Reddit user accused him of exchanging inappropriate messages with her when she was a minor. The allegation emerged on March 27th, 2025, just days after fellow comedian Joe Gatto faced separate sexual misconduct claims. Messages allegedly took place from February 2012 to 2013 when the fan was 16 years old. Okay. So this was posted on the Impractical Jokers Reddit, and it turns out that the person that ended up deleting it, and this is even more while you're like, these shits are probably true. Like, this person they don't want this to be their online footprint. They don't want this to be their identity as the person that got diddled by James Murray, of all people. The dude looks like a ferret, and he just is not it. Like, he's not it, and I don't like thinking about him. But okay, this is what they said on Reddit. This is a screen capture before it was deleted, and there's also multiple pictures of them together. It's just very sus. She says, "I've only shared what I feel comfortable with at the moment. Censored for obvious reasons. I was 16 to 17 years old when I first reached out to say hi. I was a fan. That's when he offered me meet and greet tickets. These goddamn meet and greet tickets, I swear, if any 40-year-old comedian offers you meet and greet tickets, dude, just say no. Dude, just say no. They have no good intentions for you. Especially if you're a literal child. Who are the parents at this point? Like, I'm not trying to, like, make her less of a victim, but, like, seriously, who the people at fault are, it's not even her fault. It's like, where are your parents at this point? Because how are you letting her show up to his apartment when she's 15, 16, 17 years old? It's crazy. Okay, I think it was only 16, 17. Sorry, I just put 15 in there. I'm slipping it in, but James, honestly, I don't think the kid would care. I think he'd slide right in there easily. Probably not easily. Okay, I'm not going to say anymore. That's when he offered me meet and greet tickets. On the night, it ended up being all access. I met him before the show for dinner and then went to the after party where me and my friend were given shots all night. He kissed me. I don't remember much else about that night. Okay, so they're providing alcohol to a 16 to 17-year-old girl. That's really crazy, and it's just like you see this stuff, and you're like, honestly, like P Diddy, like, or like James Murray will do it too. Like, you give people too much power, and this is what they start to do. They start to do weird shit, and it's just like really sad. He went up again a few times when he came to London. I would go to the parties and stay in his hotel. I haven't uploaded the videos in his hotel room as my friend is indecent. His manager and team were there. He bought me lots of nice things, gave me money for private taxis and things no adult would have been needing money for. Some texts from when I was in New York. He was begging me to come over in the middle of the night. I was with my mom. I ended up going to his apartment the next day. There's a picture from that night. This all happens between the ages of 16 and 18. Please remember, I was young. I thought this celebrity liked me and that it was the coolest thing ever at the time. I acknowledge my part in this, but people need to be aware so something worse doesn't happen to other young women. I met girls as young as 15 doing illicit substances with these guys at parties. Be safe. It's so sad. This shit just makes me sad. Like why? Like, bro, you guys just signed off on your 13th season of TV. Like, your lives are basically on easy mode. You can just coast with the success that you've brought yourself. And then you're like, I brought myself so much success that I actually am thinking I want to bring myself women that are not even women. The thing is, it's girls. I want to bring myself actual girls to like what kind of void do you have in your life that this stuff is going on? It also turns out that Joe Gatto's Puppy Sanctuary or whatever, it's called, like Joe Gatto's Pup and Friends or whatever. They had to change it. They had to change the name because they were like, kid, you're not a good person anymore. We're not gonna do that. So they changed it to Cannoli. And it's like, just stop trying to be on brand. Like, Joe, dude, like, I liked your whole shtick with, like, the fat guy that eats pastries and is just a funny, silly guy. And now I watch it back and I'm like, this guy was silly munchy munch on stuff that wasn't just cannolis. It's like you were munching on a 19-year-old girl's buttocks, and I don't like that. And we're going to go on to the next story and our final story of the day. Hopefully this can alleviate some of our sadness and our dread. Okay. The Yankees, bro. The New York Yankees. What you know about it? I'm walking here. Tim's on. Stepping through. You know me. The New York Yankees are already the talk of the 2025 MLB season, following an offensive explosion in which the team hit 15 home runs and scored 36 runs in just 3 games. Questions emerged about the unusual bats used by some team hitters. Can you tell? I've been practicing that? So torpedo bats are now all the rage across the league, but opinions on the bats are split. Split, much like a bat can do when you hit it with a... Some players are ready to experiment with the torpedo bats. Others are quick to call them a Scrooge. Fans, well, non-Yankee fans at least, are furious about the development. MLB is a baseball league where people that are really good at baseball play and they get paid millions of dollars. Okay, so it's a sport for fun that people watch. Okay, and it just so happens that this guy, this really smart guy, this scientist, started working for the MLB. Okay, so the thing about these bats is that there's this very smart man, and I say man, but it could have been a woman, but in this case, it was a man. So this very smart man that worked at, I think it was MIT, he like quit his job or something, and he started working for the Yankees, started working for their analytics department, something like that. I'm going to actually start reading the facts because I'm kind of doing this off the noggin, and I don't think that's good reporting. So the difference of the torpedo bat from a standard bat is the shape. A torpedo bat features a thicker sweet spot. So basically, they're like moving the wood around to figure out where a hitter's certain sweet spot is, because like some hitters just naturally hit the ball more close to the top of the bat, and some will do it naturally more at the lower end of the bat. And that's what I'm indicating with these hand movements. So this is more at the lower end of the bat, and this will be more at the top end of the bat. So, or maybe it's in the middle. Some people have it right in the middle of the bat. So what they'll do is they'll reshape the bat. They'll reshape the bat until it has it where the sweet spot is for you, right there. And then they're all done with the bat, and then they go send it out for the baseball player to use. So that's basically how that works. In a I know that was a little bit scientific, but that's how it works. Sorry to get a little nerdy on y'all. So the guy was actually an MIT physician, so he wasn't, I guess he went there to school. I don't know if he worked there. I don't really know. But his name is Aaron Lienhart, and he's credited with creating the torpedo bats. And Lienhart previously served as a hitting analyst with the Yankees before he joined the Miami Marlins as a field coordinator in the offseason. And look, Aaron Lienhart, I'm gonna be honest. If you find me reporting on Aaron Lienhart and how some greasy ass Mets fan introduced his knee to a steel pipe while he's wearing a wife beater, had a little gravy stain, and this is red sauce. This is the gravy. Yeah. If we see something like that where this dude for some reason gets his head bashed in by a brass knuckle that has the Mets logo on it, I mean, dude, you asked for it. You didn't ask for it, but you asked for it. We got 27 World Series. You decide you're going to give us a couple more. I fucking love that, buddy. I love that out of you. That's a good kid. You're a good New Yorker. You know what to do. You don't go give it to them dirty Mets over there, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to come off their greasy island. They're going to go to Staten Island, the garbage island. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go get it all over you. They're going to get your grease on you. They're going to hurt you. They're going to rough you up a little bit. They're going to be like Tony Soprano. You feel me? So, look, protect this dude, because I'm going to be honest, Aaron, you in trouble. But I think it's crazy. Anthony Volpe is a shortstop. Plays second base for the... No, he plays shortstop, I'm sorry. Second baseman would be Mr. Jazz Jism. But Anthony Volpe plays shortstop for the Yankees, and I think it's crazy. The kid is hitting home runs like he never did before. He had like 4 home runs in the first 3 games. Could be making that up. But yeah, the kid is 5'9", 180 pounds, hitting tanks out of the stadium, or at least over the fence. Now, when you hear those dimensions, you're like, okay, so where's my excuse? Okay, wait a minute, but that's my height, that's my weight. So, wait, why can't I do that? And then it makes you think, wait, maybe I could have been a pro athlete and it wasn't just limited by my body. Maybe it was more just my skill.
Maybe it was that I was scared of the ball ever since I got hit by a fastball in 4th grade. It can't be that. There's clearly some type of bone density that he has that we don't have. I mean, this dude's he's not a normal 5'9", 188. Just, I mean, it can't be that way. I mean, it can't be that way. It can't be that there's accountants in Brooklyn Heights that have the same body as a shortstop on the New York Yankees. It can't be like that. I mean, because clearly the kid is it's something in his blood. It's got to be it's something. And that sounded borderline. We were just skating on thin ice right there. The kid's got no. I got no excuse. I should be playing left field for the Yankees right now, but instead I'm sitting in front of a camera crying about news and saying that it makes me sad when literally nobody made me do this. Actually, that's not true because I am severed and I cannot unsever. So look at this. We're going to come in close. Butterhead of the day. It goes to James Murray. It was tough. I was going to give it to Joe Gatto, and James Murray. But look, when you bring in the underaged, I'm going to have to go with you. So James Murray wins Butterhead of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this program. I'm supposed to read your comment. Let me read your comments real quick. Okay. Reading your comments. Love the stark contrast when you decided to implement the Beyonce segment in the middle of the plane crash segment. Okay, yeah, so the producers did do a little bit of an oopsie and accidentally introduced a segment about a plane crash and then had it interrupted by a whole nother segment. And look, that's just called the juxtaposition of podcasting. And it's honestly the funniest mistakes are always on purpose. And they're also on accident. So you see, it's not something you can exactly understand, but when you have the expertise that I have in this industry and you get a little bit older, you'll understand. Butterscotch when inevitability. Okay. It's like Dinos. Okay, in your opinion, what's more iconic, Emerald Paul George or Basement Goblins? Okay. Basement Goblins had a short but fiery existence, and although they were a record label that released 0 records, they did create a lot of media buzz and honestly aggravation across people of the area. And I might have to actually cut that to not dox us, but if we're talking about icons, I don't think it gets more iconic than NBA 2K17 Emerald Paul George, because when you're staring at a loading screen for 20 minutes trying to load into your game and all you see is Paul George screaming, and then you sign on, you realize that you want to bid for 1,350 MT, and you just secured yourself a Paul George Emerald card. You realize that life doesn't get much better than that, and you realize that those were the good old days, and you didn't even realize you were in them. So Paul George, you're an icon. You're more iconic. Thoughts on freaking Packet, yo. Also, have we seen Kanye's recent tweets? Okay, so yeah, I've now been educated about the recent tweets. I don't know. I know we saw in the beginning of the video I was a little bit more gung-ho about my Kanye affinity, and now I'm a little bit less. But I heard about some of the tweets. I saw a couple of them a little bit crazy, but entertainment is entertainment. Look, let's just keep it real. It's like a car crash. Like, you can't, like, if I see a tweet, I'm gonna read it. I'm not gonna block the guy. I don't agree with what he says, not even in the slice, but I'm not gonna block the guy. I'm insane. I'm not gonna block him. It's the best Twitter account on the whole page. Okay, then we have P-Man and a plan. No clue who P-Man is, and certainly there is no plan. We have something that resembles a script, but it's honestly just excerpts of articles, and then I come up on here and just make up some bullshit. So there's no plan. What was I think one of these questions I think was coming from
I don't know. I think somebody might be confused. I don't know if they meant to text this to maybe a friend or a colleague, but they said, "What was exactly going through your head in the moment of New Year's Eve knocking out the blonde kid and sending him to the hospital?" Now, I don't exactly know what he's referring to. I'm assuming, like I said, this was not meant to go in a YouTube comment section, but instead the messages tab. But if I had to infer with little information that I've been given, it seems like the kid deserved it. I mean, if you're getting knocked out on New Year's, it seems like the kid either deserved it, maybe it almost seemed like maybe it was like a prophecy. Like maybe in the moment he didn't deserve it, but it's almost like there was underlying factors. It's like who even knows if the kid intended to it. Maybe it's like sometimes you realize that there's higher forces that move through your body and that make you do things, and you say, "Why did I do that?" And then you think back and some stuff happens, you go, "I'm happy I did that." And you're just like, "Oh me, oh my," how mysterious things can be sometimes when people can get their comeuppance in the past. Truly is insane. But that does conclude our episode here. It has been great chatting with y'all, and I hope we can do this again sometime. Hopefully it won't take us a month or over a month to get to you. But look, time is just a social construct. And for me, I never even left. So peace on out, and I'll see you guys the next time I gain consciousness.